Peace. This is Master Brown. Milking the mind. Living the bad. Speaking the real. Let's build the
Peace. I want to say peace once again to all human families of the planet Earth. Peace to a lost 5% nation. You are now entering Build the Cipher with your host, Master Brownseed. We're on episode 32, right? What are the mental and physical powers of man, right? A man's true power comes from the balance of his mental and physical abilities. When the two are aligned with truth, he becomes unstoppable, right? Yet, if either is neglected or misused, that same power can destroy him, right? Let's begin with segment 1. The power of the mind, right? The mind is the sole controller, man. It's the control center, right? Thoughts create reality, right? I always say, my thoughts create worlds and I create spaces to put them, right? Because that's how I shape and mold my reality. That's how I be the maker. How I make and shape the earth to my perfection, right? Focus and imagination, discipline and determination are mental powers, right? When you have the self-determination, that means there has to be some type of motivation, activation. Activation is what gets this power into motion, right? When you become this force that now you say, I want to make this happen, and you become a force that starts to make things happen, right? Because when you know what makes it, then you will know what brings it, right? If you know that you're the maker of it, then you know you brought this into existence, right? A strong mind can overcome obstacles that the body alone cannot, right? With a strong mind, with a divine mind, with a supreme mind, you are unstoppable. You can do things that the body cannot. Right? With your mind, man. Your mind travels at a terrific speed. You know what I'm saying? You have to do the knowledge to everything. Look, listen, observe. And then respect it or reject it, right? That all comes in power. Because power is something that's in motion. It's a force. It can also be a magnetic force, right? Because a lot of us have magnetic. And we attract and we pull things in. You know what I mean? Think about that, right? Segment 2, the power of the body, right? Physical powers is a vessel that carries out the mind's commands, right? The signals are thoughts. Thoughts get transmitted. You start to do things that you start to say. Like, let's get up. Let's walk. Let's do things. These are all coming from your mind. So your body starts to follow these commands, right? You give out the thought, and now you're living out that action. That's wisdom. See, knowledge and wisdom of the original man. You are that man who created that knowledge, what you know, and now you're putting it into activation. You're taking that wisdom and you're activating it. And it's going through steps, stages, and degrees. And those degrees is power. Power is strength. And it takes strength of your mind to create. That's why they say it's weak-minded, weak-blooded, weak-boded, weak. You know what I mean? Strength, health, stamina, and endurance all matter when you try to give all within your power, right? With your wisdom and understanding, have to give all within your power. You have to know how to voice your opinion, right? Or voice your knowledge. You can't sound weak with your knowledge. You have to speak with authority. That's power, right? When you speak power with authority, then people will hear you better. And the sound will start to travel at a distance that their ears will hear and say, what? You know what I mean? Without taking care of the body, the mind's visions can't be evolved. You know what I mean? If we didn't take care of this, whatever it is that you try to manifest now in the now, it's not going to manifest while your body is not in good shape. You're not eating healthy. Health is wealth also when you try to live a long life and be healthy in all your decisions in life. You know what I mean? Let's go on to segment 3. Alignment of the mind and body, right? True power is balance, mental clarity, guiding physical action, right? When you have mental clarity, when your understanding is to see things clearly, and now you see it with a clear mentality, you can bring forth this power with mental clarity. Start putting these physical actions into play, right? Without mental clarity, you're dealing with wisdom, knowledge, and not knowledge, wisdom. When you have no clarity, then you put the wisdom before the knowledge. You start to do before you think. You start to react before you start to analyze the situation. You know what I mean? You got to analyze, go through the knowledge, take it through the knowledge, all the way through analyzing the situation before you make a move. You know, I was always told to think 5 times before I act, because you might just be acting out of emotions. Emotions is only energy in motion. You know what I mean? When the mind is weak, the body moves with no purpose, without purpose, right? If your mind is weak, it's going back to what I was just building upon you on. Weak mind, weak bodied, weak blooded. When your mind is weak, the body moves with no purpose. Because you're weak in the mind, and now your body is not functioning properly because you can't think correctly. You're in a state of clouds of deception. You are living 20 miles outside your own mind and dealing with things that is not real and it's not tangible. You're going through an emotional wind pill. You let in the earth's atmosphere draw you up to something that's not real. You have to come back down off that high. You know what I mean? You got to come back down, man, earthly. Live earthly in your mind, man. Come to your mind senses. Your senses. And start to see clearly what's going on around you. You know what I mean? When the body is weak, the mind's vision never manifests. You can't manifest nothing if your body is sick, if your body is unhealthy. How are you supposed to say, you try to do something, but you can't move? Your body is messed up because you're not taking care of yourself. You're eating the wrong foods. Foods is also mental foods, and it's also foods of nourishment that you feed your body, that you have to get rid of. You have to start to take care of yourself. A good mind and body is a great way to live, man. You live longer. You have to get rid of some of the food. Like, see, I don't eat pork, I don't eat shrimp, I don't eat certain type of fish. I don't eat anything that's not good for my body, for my blood, for me. That's the same thing that you start thinking about with yourself. What is right for you? How to feed your blood type. Because that's another way of knowing how to eat the right foods. Knowing what's right for your body. Taking care of yourself. That's a part of culture and refinement. Refining yourself. Keeping your culture right. Keeping you right. Seeing you in the best shape that you can see yourself in. Right? Segment 4. Power used or power wasted, right? Power is neutral until you do something with it, right? Power is just a neutral force until you make it a positive power or a negative power, right? See that? Positive power or negative power. It all depends on how you move it in motion. How you move it, how you walking and talking, how you live it in your culture, then we can see if you are living a refined life or you are just one that has lost all knowledge of himself and is living a savage way of life. It's two different mindsets. Some people are not in the culture and refinement. They just live in the culture, but there's no refinement in it. And their power is useless. It's wasted because they're not living what they're talking. It's a wasted power. You know what I mean? Through culture and refinement, power builds families, communities, and legacies, man. Because when you start to have a clear mind, know what you are capable of doing through your wisdom and your understanding, you leave legacies for your family, for your children. So they can say, people who say Allah never dies because he's in the hearts of the people that love him. If you're a piece of shit, that's how you're going to be remembered, as a piece of shit. If you're a person who was doing good in the world, you're going to be remembered as that person who was doing good in the world. It all depends on what you bring forth through your power, your strength. We give all of them our power to take the devil off my planet. And that's what I do every day, to take that devil off my mind and not in my planet, man. My planet is my body. And I have to take care of it like it's a temple. This is my home where I live at. The vessel where I use my knowledge, wisdom, understanding exists in this. My universe, my systems. This is where I have to take care of and defend it. Because it's my home of our self-Lord and Master. Right? You see that? That's taking it through the lessons too. Right and exact. You know what I mean? If your culture is not refined, power can be wasted on destruction, addiction, and ego. You know, easing God out. Start seeing yourself bigger than who you think you are. Start acting other than your own self to God because you let something come and interfere with who you are. You start getting interdicted when the devil rules you, God. The self? How can the devil rule you, God, the self? He gives you the drugs and you take it and you get lost in yourself. You can't get caught up in things like that. You say to master something is to leave it alone. If you can't control it, if you're the sole controller of yourself in any situation, then you need to leave that alone, which is causing you to act other than your own self. Yeah, we are strictly changeable, but yet we must remain who we are in any state or any place that we are at. You blend in with the people. You don't become the people. You stay who you are amongst the people. You know what I mean? Think about that. As we go on, you know what I mean? I want to give y'all today's affirmations, right? As I always do, it's always affirmations. And I want you to affirm this. My mind is my greatest power. My thoughts shape reality. One more time. My mind is my greatest power. My thoughts shape reality. Okay? Number 2, my body is a vessel of strength and discipline. Number 2, my body is a vessel of strength and discipline. Last but not least, number 3, I am divine power. Number 3, I am divine power. Yes. So as we continue on, as I get to my closing build, I just want to let you know, Episode 32, Understanding Your Wisdom, was the mental and physical powers of a real man, right? Mental and physical, right? The sun and moon has attractive powers. Everything is caused by the sun and man. See that? Sun and moon, son of man, having attracting powers. A power, man. You have an attracting power. The son of man causes all things to happen through his attracting power, right? You cause all things to happen when you build or destroy. Because when you use your power and you go through the equality of God, it's either going to build or destroy. Whenever your power is manifested through the wisdom. Because wisdom brings power through your voice, through how you speak, through how you move, through your actions, through how you communicate with the community. These is all things you have to remember before you open your mouth and you do something. You know what I mean? Think about that, right? And while you're thinking about that, I want you to hit like, share, subscribe to the channel, Build the Cipher with your host, Master Browsy. Or if you remember the mental and physical powers of a man, all you got to do is, like I tell you, watch them, and you can see how people are moving through the understanding of how they are walking and talking this language of understanding. Because understanding is a language. You just have to understand it, the person's movements, or how they carry themselves. They're going to show you everything that you need to understand. Peace.